Hello my fellow Minecrafters, this is C-Dub coming at you with another redstone tutorial. What I have for you today is a mob farm, and I know what you're thinking, oh gosh, not another mob farm tutorial. Yeah, I understand that, but guys, hear me out. This one's a little different. It's special. For starters, the drop rate is super high. It's a very efficient farm, and second, this is the best part, you get Enderman drops. You get the Ender Pearls, and everybody loves Ender Pearls. Who doesn't? I know I do, but yeah, I'll show you how it's built right now. Alright guys, let's start this tutorial off by checking out the drops after about a 10-minute AFK session, and that looks pretty good. We're looking at almost 2 stacks of gunpowder, a couple stacks of bones. Heck, we even got a dozen ender pearl in the mix, so we know this is working. Talking about this mob farm, y'all know how mob farms work. Let's talk about the Enderman part of this, and basically we're going to be taking advantage of 2 game mechanics in order to get their drops. The first is when an Enderman falls, or if an Enderman falls off the edge, which they normally don't. They can't be pushed off with water, and they simply won't walk off the edge like the other mobs. But when they do fall, they get into this drop zone. They get to about right here. They're about to hit the ground and they start panicking. They go, uh-oh, I'm about to die. I need to look around and find a place to teleport to. And when they do, they can't find the spot, so they can't teleport and they go splat. Pretty much that's how that works. That's half the equation. The other half is, well, up in the sky. I said how they can't really be pushed off the edge with water, and they won't walk off the edge. So how do we get them off the spawning platform? Well, that's with slime blocks, or actually a wall of moving slime blocks. Right now this farm is dormant, so these walls of slime aren't moving. I do see a few mobs in here, even a few witches. You know what, let's go ahead and flick the lever and see if we can't get these guys to drop on the right side. And the wall, right now the wall of slimes on each level is moving across, and we should see them all drop down here, including a few witches, I do believe. And there they go. And yeah, and when the wall will get to the end, make its way back over to the left, but let's go ahead and stop that. So yeah, once an Enderman spawns here, the wall will literally push the Enderman off the edge, and they will die because the killing zone has walls and they can't teleport. So we've gotten into what this is and how this works. Let's get into the why. Let's get into the redstone, guys. Alright guys, before we continue, I think it's important to know, and I'm sure we all know this, but slime blocks, they're kind of like super glue blocks. Whatever block they touch, they'll kind of like drag with them, especially if they're moving. So I've kind of created the C channel, if you will. Same thing as if you ever had a sliding glass door, or maybe a sliding closet door. These doors kind of ride on a track, and that's what we've created here. This is a flying machine, and this is the kind of the track they fly on, so it doesn't interfere with the mob farm itself. Another important thing to note is at the end here I've put glass blocks that are getting drugged with the slime blocks, and that basically keeps us from having to make these 2 layers right here out of obsidian or furnaces or anything that doesn't interact with the slime block. But yeah, that's just a little tidbit for y'all. But now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the redstone. Alright guys, let's talk about these flying machines real quick. They're going to do 2 things that we don't want them to once we build them. The first is they're going to fly in one direction and they're not going to stop. We don't want that. And secondly, they're only going to stop once they hit something, and they're just going to be stationary after that. We don't want that. We want it to fly to a certain point. We want it to stop and change directions. In order to do that, we need to build these stoppers, if you will, on either side of the flight path of the flying machines, and that's what I'm building now. Little stoppers, if you will, and they're very simple. It's just an observer facing into a block that's feeding a repeater, and this repeater that it's feeding will simply send out a signal to the observer block that's on the flying machine, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, just do what I do. Secondly, let's go ahead and build the flying machine, and we're going to build up a wall of slime. I think for this tutorial I might remove the bottom layer just because it's wood and it'll cause havoc. But basically you want to go piston, slime, observer block oriented in this direction right here, and you want to repeat the same thing: piston slime observer on this side, and we're going to put that piston right there. There's already a slime block in front of it, and we just need to put an observer oriented in this direction right here. And that's it. Tutorial done, guys. That's the flying machine. It hits these little stoppers. You can see it sends out a signal to the block, which sends out a signal to the repeater and changes the direction of the flying machine, if you will. And we'll see it once again. And basically all you have to do to stop this flying machine is just power the repeater, so the observer block on the machine doesn't get an update. Alright guys, I'm going to end this with a little aerial view that y'all can freeze frame on and check out all the redstone. There really isn't much to it. I have a good feeling that even if you don't know what's going on, by the time you built your second or third layer of this farm, you'll have a pretty good idea of what's making it work. Again, don't forget the walls and the drop zone, or you won't get the Enderman drops. They'll teleport away. But that's not bad. Along with the drops that we've had, just a few minutes I spent here, minus the redstone repeater, just explain to y'all how this works. I think it was a success. I think y'all will enjoy this farm. It's pretty efficient, even without the Enderman drops, but that just makes it oh so much better, guys. So please, if you like what you've seen and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe button. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. But yeah, until next time, thank you and goodbye.